Good evening and thanks for joining me on Resource PNG. On tonight's lineup, we showcase more about the National Mining Emergency Response Challenge. We take a look at how the art of yoga plays a role in the mining industry, and we get the scoop on the inaugural coffee cupping contest last month in Goroka. Women in PNG have come a long way since stepping up to the challenge of male-dominated roles. Coming up, we'll look at the only female participating team for the past 2 years in the National Mining Emergency Response Challenge.
Since the early 1990s, gender inequality remains a major setback for human development in the country. Girls and women have been discriminated in many areas, namely health, education, and politics. Participation of women in male-dominated occupations has been very low. Women dominated care and office jobs, while men dominated construction and engineering jobs. However, in recent years, this is changing as more and more women are now involved in politics, engineering, business, and construction work. Women of this generation are keen to take up challenges and responsibilities alongside men.
The main thing that we, as a captain to the female team, that I usually talk to the girls is to learn as much as we can through the competition to build our skills and knowledge, because in an environment that we work with men, we need to have that the knowledge and the capability and capacity to progress in our work. So yeah, that's my main encouragement.
In the mining sector, women are taking up roles that in the past years, women weren't given the opportunity. All-female team from Newcrest Lihir was amongst 9 other participating male teams in this year's Response Challenge. Team captain Linda Buko tells us more about her female team.
With regards to the team came into existence last year, 2013. That was the first female team that we took down to Mosby. And this is the second. With regards to the team members, we have one from our contracted to Newcrest, and one is from our local police force within Lihir Island. And the rest are from the department, different sections, from ERT section, from the safety, and from the hygiene section, are composed of the female teams. Yep. Most of them does not have the background of ERT. It's a new skill learned through the training.
A female expert also gave her views about Linda's team and how well they have performed during the challenge.
They did extremely well in first aid. They very clear on the communications. They knew their triage. They're probably the best triage we've had all day. I personally think we were very good at first aid. There's that nurturing mother comes out in them, and they did very, very well. They do their triage properly, they do triage properly, they do primary and secondary properly. The outstanding overall, they're just very methodical. They got through the system, they treated the injuries, the people all that were injured there would have lived, so pretty well done.
Other mining companies like Ramu Nickel have expressed their interest in including an all-female team, most probably in the future years.
We might include a female team in the future competitions, but currently companies bring in female teams because their emergency response team back in their own mines have females as employees. Currently at Ramu Nickel we have only males as members of the emergency response team. So unfortunately we cannot be able to produce a team with females. It's a very skilled group of people who are here to compete, and we cannot bring anybody from the mine just because they're females to come and compete. These are all firefighters and emergency response teams from different mines. So I guess what Newcrest is doing is putting up the female team because they have females working in those areas, the emergency response in their own mines. Yes.
Being the only female team to participate in a national challenge, as confident and energetic as they are, this group of women are also setting an example for other women who wish to follow in their footsteps.
You have to have the confidence. Nothing is impossible. If a male can do it, we can do it. It's just, I think it will depend on different management team to put forward the idea of gender-based so that they can put their women forward, because most of the women have the capabilities, but it's just this gender thing that women do not take part in such events like this. But to all women out there, I encourage you all to, and if you are management level hearing me out there, get your women to take part. They have the potential and skills and they can do better.
For these women, it's not about winning the challenge. It's about increasing their knowledge and skills in their industry.
We'll be back with more of Resource PNG right after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Activities in the mining industry can place a lot of stress on mine workers, particularly affecting their physical and mental well-being. In the wake of common injuries and emotional duress, various extractive resource companies are looking at introducing the discipline of yoga into their health and physical well-being programs.
Apart from equipping the workforce in the PNG mining and petroleum companies with the skills and knowledge needed for emergency response purposes, respective authorities for various companies are looking at introducing a program that will be beneficial to their employees. Activities in the mining industry can put stress on the bodies of mine workers. These ongoing activities can include driving, lifting, bending, twisting, and sitting in airplanes for many hours a day. Continuous strain from these activities creates stiffness in the spine, muscle, and ligaments, and could also damage a person's muscle and skeleton. According to a report by a female geoscientist on yoga that has been compiled in 2012, this injury is commonly found in many mine workers. Mining companies in Papua New Guinea will introduce a program that can prevent this injury from happening, as well as keeping mining personnel healthy. As part of their health and physical well-being program, yoga will now be practiced on mine sites.
We introduced yoga at Oktedi probably early this year in a serious fashion. And why we're doing this is because we recognise that the physical bodies and the physical well-being of our employees and our communities is very much critical to the success of Oktedi. It's also, in respect to the occupational health and safety aspects of our operation, we are in fact world leading edge, we are world class, and what we're looking for is that next edge. And generally speaking, Papua New Guinea in occupational health and safety is achieving tremendous outcomes in regards to the world scene. But this next edge is very critical to us, and we have to think differently as to how we actually achieve that next level of safety outcomes to achieve our zero harm. And something like yoga is it's an all-encompassing mind aspect of physical being and exercise and personal, people taking responsibility for their own personal well-being. And this is very important to us because your celestial being, your faith deals with your celestial well-being. But we're here on earth, it's the terrestrial issue, your own body, that is very, very important to you, and it is important to your colleagues and to your families, etc. So what we are doing is looking for innovation and adopting this world-class exercise and thinking, mental awareness, theories and parts of life that are all encompassing with yoga.
Yoga is a prehistoric practice that has been developed over the years. It is a meditation and holistic fitness package consisting of a variety of postures and breathing techniques. In its own way, it maintains a balance between the minds and emotions of individuals. A female yoga trainer with Oktedi Mining Limited tells us more about the program.
Obviously now the mining company wants to take this on board into the mining industry, and it's just at the beginning stages, and we will just see how that unfolds in the future. So the first time I was invited to Oktedi was during their Mining and Safety Week. I was very, very impressed that the senior managers were interested in engaging yoga as part of their health and wellness program. And so when we went up there, we were told to do some yoga demonstrations and opportunity for children and youth to participate in yoga classes. To answer your question, we were very, very impressed and excited that the communities that we started with, we worked with the children, they were absolutely happy to want to participate in our sessions. They were very, friendly and loved the yoga sessions and kept asking us when we are going to come back for more. So even though it wasn't part of the culture, yoga doesn't need to be of any culture, because yoga is a practice of an exercise that brings the mind and the body together, and so it's applicable to all cultures, and it's very user friendly, and anyone and everybody can do it anywhere. If you know the benefits of it, you will want to practice it all the time.
Yoga was introduced this year, first at the Okteri Mining Limited and recently at the Mineral Resources Authority. Although it isn't a cultural practice here in PNG, according to those who have practiced it, yoga did help in many different ways.
And Fazila Bazari, our yoga instructor, who has greatly helped us, if not physically, then mentally. All right, we've had a few yoga sessions after each event, so just get the guys refreshed and look forward for the next events. In fact, yoga really is a new thing. We may have heard of yoga, but to actually know the meaning and its importance, that's another thing. So it's just starting to get introduced now, and eventually all teams will be able to get into these sessions and really know and understand why yoga is important when you deal with your mind. And you can have an hectic day, but if you follow yoga, I can assure you, you can get fully relaxed and pumped up for your next whatever activity that you're planning for. So yeah, just 2 days, the guys have been going through yoga. They've really appreciated the benefits that yoga will or have done to us.
Yoga is not just the action of physical movement. It has its own special elements. Yoga sessions only require yoga mats and no other equipment.
Inspired by the benefits of yoga, the Mining Minister Byron Chan will be proposing to introduce this discipline amongst parliamentarians and their staff. Don't go away, we'll be back with more Resource PNG after these short messages. You're watching Resource PNG. For the first time, PNG hosted its inaugural coffee tasting contest in Port Moresby in September this year, which saw participating coffee cooperatives, farmers and respective coffee body representatives from various coffee-producing countries to participate in the international event. Coffee cupping or coffee tasting is the practice of observing the tastes and aromas of brewed coffee. It is a professional practice but can be done informally by anyone or by professionals known as master tasters. A standard coffee cupping procedure involves deeply sniffing the coffee, then loudly slurping the coffee so it spreads to the back of the tongue. The coffee taster attempts to measure aspects of the coffee's taste, specifically the body, texture, oiliness, and sweetness. Since coffee beans embody telltale flavors from the region where they were grown, cuppers may attempt to identify the coffee's origin. Papua New Guinea for the first time hosted its inaugural coffee cupping contest in Port Moresby in September this year, which saw participating coffee cooperatives, farmers and respective coffee body representatives from various coffee-producing countries. 3 international coffee tasting professionals from overseas were engaged as judges for this year's event, which included a variety of coffee flavours that were tasted. Agriculture Minister Asik Tommy Tomscore, when officiating at the closing ceremony of the event, stated that it was necessary to ensure that such an international event is done to encourage the local coffee farmers to maintain and recognise the importance of producing quality world standard coffee to the markets both here and abroad.
The government had approved allocation of reserved coffee export licenses to districts, to cooperatives and women, and has commenced issuing these licenses. From early this week, the government sponsored the first international cupping quest staged in Papua New Guinea. This quest has facilitated communications and education between farmers and between farmers and exporters. This quest has measured the quality of coffee beans and, most importantly, is putting monetary value to the cup of coffee in Papua New Guinea. It is during this cupping quest that new alliances, new networks, and new business opportunities are founded. The government believes that through the distribution of new coffee seeds for planting, it should directly lead to increased production, should bring new income and create new employment for the unemployed youths and the rural people. Coffee farming is the most powerful lever for reducing hunger and poverty and improving quality of lifestyles for our people. Without doubt, smallholder agriculture is a driver of economic growth and has strong potential to contribute to political stability, reduce health risks, and increase better educational outcomes.
Coffee Industry Corporation Chief Executive Officer Anton Benjamin said that the aim of the event was to increase productivity of the coffee farmers, as well as provide market opportunities for the local farmers in the country. Mr. Benjamin added that by next year the event will have more participation from both the international and local coffee producers, as well as tasters participating for the event.
So 2015 will be much bigger, much more organized, and hopefully we can increase the number of international participants so that our farmers can actually engage in dealing with coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, this initiative is very important for the coffee industry, especially our strategic plan for 2013-2018. Our aim is to increase financial returns, productivity, production, and market access for our coffee farmers and others along the value chain. And therefore, CIC is really focused on promoting the tree-to-cup policy. And this cupping competition, or the result of this cupping competition tonight, is the apex of all this effort to realize it. And therefore, I thank you for support. Thank you for believing in CIC. And I trust that we will continue that in 2015. We all know that the value of the coffee is really in the cup. And only through such process can our hard-working farmers who are here in front of us and who are standing at the back, and those who are out in the province are not able to be with us tonight, can really benefit. This is how we can improve, how we can bring them out of the corridors of poverty. And so this is a very important occasion for the coffee industry. I hope that after tonight, the farmers can now start to realize the importance of their contribution to the industry. Because without them, we don't have an industry. Without a coffee tree, we don't have an industry. And therefore, it is very important for us to work together to support this initiative. PNG coffee is an internationally tradable commodity and therefore competes with the rest of the world coffee producers. However, since there's already market segmentation, this also provides a window of opportunities for our hard-working coffee farmers and communities, particularly through certification and origin. And that is something which CIC is, with the other stakeholders are promoting to ensure that at the end of the day, regardless of whether the price goes up, with a price comes down, farmers still get good price for their coffee. PNG currently produces 1% of the global coffee production, although there is potential to increase that to about 5% through systematic replacement of aged trees with high-yielding varieties of Arabica and Robusta, rehabilitation, expansion into new growth areas, and the use of science-based technology. Whilst we may not at this point in time have the volume, the challenge for the industry is to increase the value of the 1%, so that our coffee is highly sought after, and I'm pleased to note that the result of tonight and the effort that has been made through the competition.
Coffee cupping taster Cassie Reynolds, on behalf of the cuppers, said that the completion saw CIC submit 90 coffee samples from farmers across the country, and 69 of them made it through to the competition. She said the level of quality of PNG coffee is still significant.
This week we discovered some very beautiful coffees. It was very exciting as coffee buyers and drinkers to really see the best of the origin. CIC had 90 coffees submitted into the competition, and a staggering 69 coffees made it through to the international cuppers. This in itself is a great sign of the level of quality. We, however, had the big task this week of tasting all 69 coffees and really getting acquainted with the best of PNG coffees. In total, we collectively brewed and tasted 736 cups of coffee this week. Which, as you can imagine, is pretty big. Yes, maybe bigger. Hopefully more cuppers as well. Over the first 2 days of the competition, we separated and cupped all of the coffees, each in their separate province. We cupped Nairobi, Jiwaka, Plantations, Simba, Western Highlands Province and Eastern Highlands Province. The reason why we did this is so that we could recognise the best coffees of each province. All of the coffees that cupped at a level of 84 or above made it into the next round of the competition. We had 19 coffees pass. A very good result. These coffees were then recupped on Thursday, which gave us our top 10. This 10 was then recupped together so that we could decide who truly was who were the winners. As cuppers, our main focus is cup quality. The coffees that did not make the competition could have been improved in the following ways. And this is where we leave you with a little bit of advice. Picking. Underripe cherries result in a nutty, astringent flavour, not commonly favoured by coffee buyers. Perfectly ripe cherries result in fruity flavours and sweetness. So this is something that, if your coffee did not make the competition, an area that could be improved on. Drying. Coffee that is not dried properly, we found throughout the competition, had a real vegetal flavour and also earthiness. By drying your coffee properly, should get rid of these flavours. Also, fermentation. All of these coffees that we cupped were washed coffees. However, some coffees that got bumped out of the competition had some flavour of fermentation, over-fermentation. This is not a flavour desired by cuppers of fully washed coffees, and this could be from overripe cherries, dirty processing, or coffee sitting around for too long. However, I'd like to finish on focusing on some of the great flavours that we found this week, and flavours that really excited all of us. We found flavours of blueberries, winey, dark chocolate, cherry, coconut milk, candy, melon, honey, nougat, lime, caramel, gingerbread, floral, toffee, apple, grape, apricot, hazelnut, guava, hibiscus, mango, jelly, tamarind, and many, many more flavours.
Local farmers representative Mary Lomotopa, on behalf of the farmers that participated, said that the competition had helped and motivated them to understand the process of having quality coffee produced for consumers at the end of the chain to appreciate and consume. Kabul Member of Parliament Bob Dadai, who is rigorously reviving the coffee industry in his district, currently urged the farmers that had attended and participated to implement the knowledge and skills they've learnt in their respective districts. He said part of the current government's aim is to improve the standard of export volumes of coffee, and the farmers' responsibility is to work closely to ensure that the whole industry is revitalised accordingly. This year's overall winner in the Golden Cup competition went to Kanite Kirapim Association of Eastern Highlands Province with prize money of 10,000 kina. The winner will also be able to participate in the upcoming World Coffee Cupping competition. Next year's event will soon be announced. That ends this edition of Resource PNG. If you have any comments or queries, do email us on this address, resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. Or to find out more, check MTV online. That's www.mtv.com.pg and go to our Resource PNG page. Or you can check our page on Facebook. Until the same time next week, bye for now.